Good morning and welcome to the daily weather operations brief. This morning out the window we are seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies and light winds out of the south-southwest, sitting currently below 6 knots with morning temperatures of about 60 degrees as of current. As we move through the day today, aside from the slight chance of seeing an early morning shower as some have started to fire off in the immediate vicinity, we will largely stay dry and cool as we do see some onshore flow developing later this afternoon. Now, briefly taking a look at today's SPC convective outlook, we can see that areas to the west have a chance of seeing some scattered thunderstorms, and areas in the Midwest have an elevated chance of seeing some severe weather, but in general, again, we should remain dry throughout the day. And looking at the current radar, we can see that we have a cell just east of the area and currently moving over Chincoteague. Further to the west, closer to the bay side of the peninsula, we do have another cell flaring up. So we might see a quick shower move through, and these cells do look like they have the potential to generate some lightning. However, they should be quick moving in nature. And for today, taking a look at this morning surface analysis chart here, see that high pressure is continuing to remain offshore with a nearly stationary boundary situated just north of our region. Throughout the day today, that boundary is going to gradually move southwesterly, and that will usher in those cooler temperatures as we see that onshore flow develop and we see that marine layer push a bit further inland. As a result, we could see those temperatures drop pretty drastically this afternoon into the 50s and ultimately into the 40s as we move into the later hours of tonight. So big change from the previous days here on the shore. And additionally, we may see some patchy fog and or some lingering low-level cloud cover as we move through the day today and into tomorrow morning. But for tonight, low pressure to the west will start advancing towards the Great Lakes region, and that should help lift that boundary a bit further to the north as we move into Friday, which will allow some warmer air once again to move over the region, and we'll see those daily highs come back up for a day or two. As of current, for our observations out on the field, we do have some intermittent periods of low cloud moving through the area. We do have a layer at 6,000 feet and a broken layer at 9,500 feet with some reduced visibility as a result of some mist out there. Winds are currently light out of the south-southwest at about 5 knots, generally staying below 6 for the preceding times leading up to this briefing. We will see a slight upwards trend as we move through the day today, and then temperature currently sitting at 60 degrees with a relative humidity of 93%. Now, if we take a look at the satellite imagery from this morning, we can see those mid-level clouds moving overhead, and we can also see some of that fog building in from the north. And looking at model analysis for today, again seeing those scattered showers and thunderstorms off to the west. Then we see that boundary pushing in, giving that elevated risk of seeing some convective activity, but largely for our area remaining clear of any modeled convection or precipitation. Obviously, those cells are moving through as of right now, but later on this afternoon, we do expect to see improvements as far as diminishing rain chances. And that will bring us to our 24-hour risk chart here, in which we anticipate the temperatures climbing into the mid-60s. Depending on how early that onshore flow develops, we might see it push closer to the upper 60s. And then we'll see those temperatures drop into the 40s overnight, Winds are currently light, expected to increase, start gusting into the mid-teens this afternoon and into the later afternoon, and then we'll see a downwards trend as we move into tomorrow morning, where we'll end up tomorrow morning south-southwesterly 5 to 10 knots. Do see some color on the board for a chance of a shower passing through this morning, along with the chance of seeing some lightning within the 10. And we are also anticipating a good chance of seeing some low-level cloud cover throughout the day today. Hence, we do have color across the board for that parameter. And for the short-term outlook here for the next 2 days, anticipating some partly to mostly cloudy conditions tomorrow and potentially the slight chance of some lingering low-level cloud cover from what we'll experience here today. Seeing a high in the low to mid-70s. Friday night, partly cloudy and a low around 60. And then Saturday, partly cloudy and those highs raising ahead of an approaching front, climbing into the mid to upper 70s. That is going to conclude the daily weather operations brief. We'll be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day outlook. Hope everyone has a great day.